See, chanting is done in the foreground mind. Okay? Foreground mind is the executing mind, which now we are already practicing. Background mind is a feeling mind, driving mind, inspiring mind, feeling mind, the background. Now tasking. So foreground mind is chanting, come hearing on each bead. The foreground mind is doing that. We are not disturbing that at all. Now tasking is done during the training by foreground mind between the two beats. Even now when you are doing chanting come hearing, the foreground mind is doing chanting come hearing on the beat. Then it goes to the next beat. Again when you start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, foreground mind is active. But between these two beats, your foreground mind is free, no? So even during training, your foreground mind itself can trigger this, can consciously trigger this impulse, tasking impulse. And the tasking impulse, what it has to do, trigger, already it's in the background mind. After training, the background mind will automatically give the tasking. What's the tasking impulse? Just show that. Next. The tasking impulse is, there's a small intention from one beat to another beat. What is that? It's all, we're talking about the intention is also a drive. I want to build up one more towards my 108. One more I want to build up towards the 108. One more I want to build up towards the 108. Build up what? Build up my eternal earning. Build up one more unit of pleasure from Nama Prabhu. One more pleasure I want to get from Nama Prabhu. One more pleasure I want to get Nama Prabhu. Just like I gave the example of how the father asks the child to chant. When he chants, then father gives him a smile. Very good. Then he chants one more. Then he chants one more. Then he chants one more. So my tasking intention is to get one more pleasure from the Lord. One more pleasure from the Lord. And there is a tasking effort. Effort is what? Uninterrupted. Nothing else should come now. Now next I should go for next Hare Krishna. And then there's a tasking delight. A tasking delight is what? It gives you happiness or not. It gives you pleasure or not. Even the idea that you are piling up one above the other, that itself gives you the tasking delight. So your tasking impulse is all these things. When you do it 1,000 times, this intention, effort and delight, when you practice it, in the background it becomes one feeling. As soon as you take your beat, one Hare Krishna is over, an impulse will come from your heart, from your background. One more. With a sense of success, with a sense of delight, it will come. And then that's one over the other. You want. So not only you want each mantra to be chanted and heard, you will want that, but you want it uninterruptedly. I don't want to break because I want it to be piled up. I don't want my attention to go anywhere else. Okay. So, for this, so as in the case of the child, many things were happening between one chanting and another chanting. What was it? Many things, many subtle things were happening in the mind. He was feeling a sense of success, being encouraged by the smile of the father. And then he didn't even feel any strain. 108 times he did it. But if you had told the child, okay, do 108 times, I'd find it very difficult. In between two beats, two chants, you encouraged him. There was something for him. That is called micro delight. The child was feeling micro delight between the two chants. So very nicely he chanted 108 rounds, 108 beats. So, actually why this works also is because our mind has got the tendency to feel good about any accomplishment. It is our nature to feel good about any accomplishment. That means I desire something, I accomplish. I desire something, I accomplish. Immediately I get the result. Then I feel very good about it. So that feel good is very important. It's very common in so much different kinds of tasks that we do in our life. If we succeed, we feel good. So same phenomena we are dovetailing in the brain. This is what the acharyas have done by introducing the beads. They've taken advantage of how our brain works in order to keep our attention connection with the sound incarnation. Therefore, chanting with bead is different. It may take 2 hours to do chanting 16 rounds. I can just sit and do 16 rounds, half an hour or 2 hours. Now, okay, I have finished. I don't want Japamala. No, Japa means Japamala is required. Okay, there are a lot of things that happen to the mind in Japa. So, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you should understand Japa means not just chanting and hearing from now onwards. Please understand, it is one effect. If you simply think, okay, it is chanting and hearing, that is one effect, one kind of effect. But chanting is meant for much more than that. What is that? By repetition, you are continuing and prolonging your attention to the Lord, which attracts more mercy, like how longer you stay in the fire continuously, the more heat the iron will absorb. These are all things, if you want, you can practice it and see. Take it as a vow and sit one shot and finish 16 rounds and see without interruption, bead after bead, bead after bead, mala after mala, mala after mala, mala after mala. It is possible to do because there is delight. And there is chesta ruchi. Taste is there. Energy is coming from the nama. And you will see that is how after 16 rounds you don't want to stop. Because it's piled up, built up. Energy, spiritual energy has been built up.